Hey everyone, welcome back to East Vineland, New Jersey. We are here on Kubota Farm, and I actually wasn't really planning on, I guess I wasn't going to record, but I thought, you know what, why not? Why not record and throw this out for a Sunday morning? I was actually just kind of playing around with something that I've never done with Courseplay before. I don't know why, but I just really haven't, and that is getting two tractors on the same field with Courseplay. Honestly, I don't know if I did it right. Right now, it looks like it's working, but I have no idea. I noticed this. This was the only difference I saw was you had a choice between right one and left one. And I'm assuming, boy, I went the long way, didn't I? I picked left one for this guy, and I picked right one for that guy. Now, I don't know what that means, but yeah, and when I generated the course, I was kind of expecting there to be like two different there is two different start points. Okay, so but when it first created the course, it created a single start point course. And then I did tell it when I generated that I had two tractors. Then I went to the other tractor and I was expecting it to just automatically be filled out, but it wasn't. So I had to go back in to course play and basically honestly I don't even remember what I did. I think I just said generate course again, or I did something. I don't know what I did. I don't know if I could repeat what I did. I don't know if I got lucky or what. It wasn't particularly intuitive. But that all being said, it does look like we have both of our M8s pulling both of our plows on the same field. And from what I can tell, hopefully they won't run into each other. I guess ultimately that would be a win. Yeah, it looks good though. Looks really good. We fertilize, as you remember, with our slurry. You can see it's kind of a moist looking slurry ground. I'm sure the odor is a little pungent. And I think once they're done plowing, we can get to seeding. And I really haven't done, like I said, I wasn't sure if I was going to record or not, so my apologies. I haven't really set anything up or thought about what I want to do or anything like that. So this might be a little bit of a, how do they say, improvisational feel to it, as Rick and Morty would say. It does have a slightly improvisational feel to it. Um, how's our silage doing? I haven't looked at this recently. Very okay, so not much left with the grass. Going to silage, that's good. By the time silage sells, by the time silage selling comes around, we should be golden with that. We have zero, we have nothing in our silos. I still find that just kind of weird, but we keep taking things to production facilities, so I guess that's okay. You know, we're gonna have over 1 million liters of silage to sell. We're gonna make some bank on that. Um, we have wool that is stacking up pretty good. In fact, let's just go take a quick peek over here. So yeah, we've got some wool stacking up actually really pretty good over here. So when it comes time to do our wool sales, we'll have some decent amount of wool to sell. Our grapes are automatically being taken over to our processing. Our grape processing is still going strong. Looks like we've got juice and raisins. I forget. I'm always like nervous that I'm going to skip over a month and then go back and say, "Oh shoot, I was supposed to sell this, this, or this that month." You know, I should write things down. It would be actually what would be cool. Oh man, is there a mod for this? Oh, that would be amazing. I just thought it's just something that I would love. I would love it like if there was like a little banner or just some text that would come up on the screen for the month that you're in, and it knows that you've got XYZ product ready to sell, and it would remind you. But that being said, I'm not sure that would work extremely well in situations like this where I've got wool stacked in here. The game does not recognize. I don't think the game recognizes that wool. I think it only recognizes the wool that is in the, well, actually, it's not recognizing any wool. That's interesting. I thought it would recognize the wool that's in this area, but it's not even showing that. So I don't know. Maybe that idea is garbage. So we can ignore that. How we doing with our grass? Our grass is next month. I think our sugar beets are 2 months, if I'm not mistaken. I know it says 6 of 7, but it's usually you have to add one to that. You know what I'm saying? Like grass is 3 of 3, but it's at a forage state. We can let it go one more month for a little bit more volume. Is our corn ready? No, corn is at forage. Okay, so next month for corn. So yeah, we're gonna have we've got some busy times ahead of us, which is good. That means more money coming in. As far as our production facilities go, I think they're just kind of maintaining themselves right now. I think our grapevines still have seeds, fertilizer. I think they still have manure. Yeah, it does not go through the manure very quick. So I guess maybe that's a good thing. I was expecting it to go through manure a lot faster for some reason, but that's actually kind of a nice thing. We could grab some manure that we have and take it over there and top it off if we wanted to. Water's not going too fast, so that's good. Our oat flour and our oats that I took over is creating flour. It looks like I can't remember if this cracked. I'm assuming this cornmeal and this cracked corn was left over partial from the last time we took corn over to the mill because I can't see how oats would make cornmeal and cracked corn. Clothing, we have a few pallets of clothing over at our tailor shop. That being said, it's not time to sell clothing yet. I am looking forward to that because we're going to make a little bit of bank on our clothes, I think, as well. Yeah, that's not till April. But look at the price of the average high price is like almost $31,000 per 1,000 liters, right? That's per 1,000 liters, if I remember right. Is that true? I think it is. I don't think, or is that per pallet? I think it's per 1,000 liters. I think it prices it the same way it does everything else. And if that's the case, we're going to make some serious coin on clothes. Yeah. How are you guys doing? They seem to be doing all right. They're not running into each other, right? That's a good thing. Yeah. I'd almost like to see how they would handle cutting each other off, but maybe Courseplay sets it up that way so they never really, that's never really a risk. I did do sharp corners, so we'll see how Courseplay handles that. It usually does a pretty good job of it, but boy, it's making pretty quick work of this field. Wage payment, you're still working though, aren't you, buddy? Yeah, you're still working. Okay, well, I didn't invite you all along, I guess, to just run around and look at other people doing stuff, even though it is kind of fun to watch Courseplay running these two tractors around this field. Kind of enjoying it, if I'm being honest with you. We need to decide what we're going to plant, actually. What are we going to put on this field? We can do wheat, we can do barley, we can do canola. I don't think we should do grass. I'm going to skip oilseed radish, but if we plant, I didn't really confirm how long oilseed radish takes to do its business. I don't know if it's a month, 2 months, 3 months. My guess is if we plant oilseed radish now, I bet it wouldn't be ready all the way until March, which would tie this field up just for some extra, what, nitrogen? Is that what oilseed radish does? Is some fertilizer? Should I have Should I have limed this field? I was kind of thinking, well, it still says okay, but yeah, maybe not. All right, let's take a look here. So what do y'all think we should plant here? I mean, we either plant something, if we plant wheat or barley, we can harvest in March and then turn right around. Wait, no, we can't harvest in March, Brad. What are you talking about? We would harvest in June. Canola, however, if we planted now, we would be able to July. So really, canola is going to be maybe our best bet. I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? Wheat or barley? We've got a wheat field over yonder. Why don't we just? I don't know that there's really a significant difference as far as production goes either for us. Because either way we can take it to the grain mill, and either way, it'll be food. We can use it for food if we so choose. But you know how you know what my thinking is about food right now for our animals, and basically we're just going to be buying food for the pigs anyways. So, what's our cedar? Let's see here. Where is our cedar? I'm trying to think of how much. Well, if we can't do it that way, let's go spreaders. Brad, why are you having a hard time finding? Hello, planters, rollers, seeders. How many horsepower do you require? 180? Okay, so you're going to take an M8. Both of our M8s are tied up right now, was my thought. Hopefully one of these will finish up here shortly. I think the outside guy is going to finish up maybe first. Does he have... Let's see here. If we jump in him... So he's showing... I think he's showing the wrong track. How do I show the correct track? I guess I can't see the track he's on. If I change this, still doesn't show the correct track. So I'm not really sure how to see. I'm assuming this guy is on. Well, really, neither of them are really showing the track that they're on, are they? That's weird. Am I looking at it? I think I'm doing something wrong, maybe. It's almost like it's almost like it's showing a track that would be double the width of the plow, doesn't it? So it's almost like this is a 6-meter plow. If we had a 12-meter plow, that's almost what it kind of looks like. But I would have expected it to show the track for each individual tractor. Then the next question is, did I completely do it wrong? Did I just accidentally start each one of these at different points? And are they just going to keep going with land that's already been plowed, with parts of the field that have already been plowed? Now I'm super curious, because I'm going to expect this guy here. It should show a start and a stop. And I don't know what this dude's going to do when he finishes this this headland. Keep an eye on this for a second. I got something we can talk about here real quick too. So I was poking around because here's what I've kind of decided I want to try and do, and I don't know if it's not going to make a great deal of difference here on Kubota Farm, but I think on my next map, and it's not like I'm going to invest a lot into this, but I would like to start making more effort into buying and customizing tractors and equipment based on kind of real life, if that makes sense. Like, a lot of times, because a lot of things in the game don't matter, if that also makes sense. Like, you can accessorize planters sometimes with things that are just for looks. Like a toolbox, for instance. The game doesn't really do anything when you put a toolbox on a tractor or on an implement. But things that kind of do matter, like when you look at the honeybee header, for instance, and I bring that up because I watched a really good video today on the honeybee headers, and in fact, it was Mike Mitchell who was talking about how they normally are John Deere combines. Are you gonna finish for me, buddy? Or are you gonna keep just going? No, you're gonna quit. Very cool. I still have no idea how I got this right. I wish I did. I really do, but I think I got lucky. Anyways, Mike Mitchell was talking about how they typically are a John Deere combine and header farm. And this, I think this video is about a year. It was about a year old, and they decided to. It's probably older than that, but they decided to try honeybee headers out instead of John Deere headers. And he was basically going over the pros and cons that they have found with honeybee headers. And it was actually really kind of interesting to listen to what he had to say about honeybee headers. And I think they are made in Canada, if I understand that correctly. I don't know if that went into play with their decision or not, but he basically said, and this of course is, you know, his opinion, so take it for what it's worth. I would say it's a pretty educated opinion, but actually his opinion is that honeybee headers, he called them a princess header. And he called John Deere headers basically tanks. And then he went on to explain what he meant by that and so on and so forth. But basically, honeybee headers, he felt like were a lot more delicate of a header. The John Deere headers are built just, you know, steel, they're heavy, they're super durable, they're forgiving for people who are new at combining. You know, like he's talking about times when people have hit fence posts and things like this, and whereas the honeybee header, in his opinion, just wouldn't stand up to that kind of abuse. However, there were some pretty decent advantages or pros to the honeybee header that he pointed out as well, as far as some of the way it's built, its flexibility. It's very light. He did and didn't like the little, you know, the little two-piece trailer that you get with the honeybee headers here in the game. The same thing in real life. He likes them, but he doesn't like them because he prefers the built-in ones, which I guess John Deere, along with some other header companies, are doing more of. They're actually building in a transport or transportability to the header, which I could see as being a really big. Wow, I must not be taking care of you very. Oh, you're my grass mowing one, aren't you? Yeah. Which I can totally see, because, you know, he made a good point. He's like, you start off on, you know, in one area, you transport your header over, you leave the transport little wagon things behind. By the time you're done with the day, you could be, you know, 15, 20, 25 miles away. You have to send a truck over to pick up the transport dolly things, you know, that kind of thing. So I get that. That makes sense that would be kind of a hassle. And he had some other things to talk about. Did I swap I think I did. I think that tractor over there is our mowing tractor. And I say that because this has got the weight on it. But we can take care of that easy enough. Let's see, front weight. We actually want, is this going to cost me money? How much is this going to cost me though? Oh, nothing? All right, cool. So we want a 3-point, and we want to switch our tires back to, oh, for grass. I don't know. Do you run narrows usually with grass? I would assume it wouldn't be a bad idea, right? In real life? Can I get twin narrows on this thing? Rear twin wheels. Those aren't really narrows though, are they? Rear twins, twin wheels. I'm going to end up paying a ton of money for this. Let's see here. Wide tires, rear, whoa. Rear twins. Those kind of look narrowish. Yeah, those are about the same, and that's not going to cost us anything. I wouldn't mind running that. Let's customize that, get our 3-point back. All right, now we can grab our mower. That's nice looking. That'll work. Have a couple little twins in the back. Those look narrow to me. Doesn't say narrow, but they look narrows. Look like narrows at least. Ooh, that's some weight there, Jack. All right. Let's check our. Let's actually check our maintenance on our mowers. I think they're okay. Yeah, we're in good shape there. So it was interesting, and crops, of course, always have stuff to do with it. You know, go figure, right? I don't think we need to worry about putting a weight on here right now. But he did make a good point though. It's like he saw advantages and disadvantages to both the honeybee and the John Deere headers depending on what crops they were doing. Each one seemed to handle certain crops better. So the only thing he didn't talk about was cost, which I wish he would have, because I was curious. We need to get some seed. I think we're going to need seed. Let's just take a quick peek at our field calculator. What fields are we working on here? 8 and 9. And we're going to do wheat. Almost 700 alone right there. Yeah, we're going to need some seed. Let's grab some seed real quick. So he didn't talk cost and price, which I wish he would have, because I was kind of curious how much the John Deere headers ran versus the honeybees. And I don't know if maybe he did that because they get a better deal when they bought the. I don't think they buy anything, and they probably lease would be my guess. But ooh, that fills up fast. We'll just fill it. We're gonna end up using it one way or the other anyway. So I'm assuming they must lease all of their equipment. I can't imagine they buy anything, because it would just be millions and millions of dollars. As big of a farm as they are. So what do we have here? We've got wheat. Crop sensors should do us absolutely no good, I would think. We want automatic seed rate. Yeah, I'll turn on crop sensor. It's there. Aye. And let's just lower. Let's power this thing on. And let's get to doing some seeding, I guess, if I can stay on the field. There we go. And there were very specific things that he talked about as well with the honeybee. There was one thing in particular that he really didn't like about the honeybee headers. There's like this sensor bar that runs across the bottom of the honeybee head. In fact, I was gonna look. Let me get this thing straightened out here. I'm gonna kick off a. Yeah, I didn't line that up the greatest, but That'll work. Go to town, buddy. Go to town. I wanted to take a quick look at our honeybee header and see if it's got this bar that he was showing. Might not. Oh, there it is right there. See that kind of that galvanized bar right there that's running across the lowest. It's the lowest part of the header, actually. He's exactly right, too. That's interesting. Boy, this thing looks identical to the one he was showing, except they didn't have the air system hooked up like this one has. But that galvanized bar right there at the very bottom that's running all the way through there, all the way across, and then it runs all the way this way. Oh, and he hates these tires, by the way. They're not full-size tires. They're way too small in his opinion. That galvanized bar right there, he said, is an exceptionally important bar. It's some kind of a sensor bar. And he said that, and he just went up to it and it just rattled. Like you could tell it just wasn't very solid. He says they have knocked at least twice they've knocked that thing. I don't know if they've completely broken it or what. He didn't really get specific, but they had to repair it. And you really can't work with it damaged that way. And because it's at the lowest part of the header, like closest to the ground, he said when you can't lift the header up high enough when it's attached to the combine and they lift the header up for transport, or like when they're not combining, that bar down there will get just brushing along stiffer crops. As they're going forward, those like tall crops will just wrap themselves around that bar and like almost like fingers and just grab onto it and just pull it off. And he said, he didn't like this design at all. His thought was they should have a guard, like just some 1x or 2x steel guard that's in front of this bar that would help deflect stuff away from that bar. That's interesting. I never would have known anything about that if not watching that video, but I really enjoyed watching his video about this honeybee. And it was interesting to see how well it flexes. There's things he really liked about it. I think he really liked the auger. I think he liked the auger size more than the John Deere. But everything about the John Deere, he said, is just, big, solid, and heavy. Which isn't bad, at all. He just, this is just more of a finesse header, I guess is one of the words he used. And he said he would never put a rookie or a trainee on a combine with a honeybee header. He said you're just asking for a lot of trouble. That it's a header, in his opinion, designed for trained professionals. No, for like people with experience, and which tells me I should probably go ahead and get and sell our honeybee and get a John Deere header, because I have a feeling if in real life this poor honeybee header would have been roached long ago on Kubota Farm. I'm just saying, Got to get a stogie going. Saturday night stogie. I limit myself to these things, and can't help myself. Just sounds too good. Anyways, yeah, I still love this thing. I mean, it looks amazing. I still love these honeybees. In game, it's a different ball game. I mean, you can run this honeybee, you can run a John Deere, you can run a MacDon, you can run a Kloss. It doesn't matter. They're all gonna just cut your crops, or they're gonna, they're gonna do the same thing for your crops. I was gonna say cut your crops. I guess they kind of are, but you're gonna harvest your crops the same way. Which got me thinking too, it would be kind of fun to have kind of advanced levels of the game, and not just in economy, but advanced levels. Maybe someday they will. I kind of have my doubts, but it would be fun to have advanced levels. Like if you choose a professional level, let's say, and you are harder on your equipment, you get more damage that way. If you pick the wrong header to use, you can damage your equipment. If you have the wrong tires on, you have more slippage. You're not going to have as good a control. You know, a lot of different variables could play into that. I think it would be horrific, and it'll never happen now that I'm talking about it, because I can't even believe the nightmare that would cause Giants as far as... Are you doing okay, buddy? Okay. Looks like you're doing better than I would be. Dang, he's cruising. Yeah. It always, what always gets me when I watch farming simulator, or not farming simulator, but real farming videos about the in-game equipment, it always gets me at how big these things are. And I don't know how that can ever really be brought across. Oh, don't quit on me now. It is, isn't it? It's going to quit on me. Why are you quitting on me? If I get out, will you go? You shouldn't. Why are you quitting on me, dude? I don't know why it's quitting on me. Alright, you're fired. You are so fired. I have no idea why it quit on me. The size, the enormity of these things. I mean, just, I was looking at that a couple cedars, and like looking at this cedar right here, and just looking at it here in game, you know, I mean, you know in your mind, yeah, it's big, you know, because it's 25 feet wide, or, you know, and this kind of thing. But man, in real life, when you see these things and you've got some dude or girl standing next to one, it's just like, holy cow. That is absolutely massive. And it's just, it always gets me. It always gets me. It's very, very cool. I don't know why I don't do 90. I should just do 90 degrees. Like I said, this is very very much of an improvisational style today. I just thought I would bring you along to hang out with me more or less while I just get some different things, you know. Wonder if I'm not over far enough. I think I might be missing a little. Am I missing that little tiny strip? If I am, that's going to be so annoying. Not according to this, I guess. All right, keep going. You're doing good. Do your thing. I hired that helper. Oh, it did. It turned off my crop sensor. Little stinker. I don't think it needs to be on anyways, but oh well. But yeah, just the size, how massive this machinery is, and I mean, they were looking at a his honeybee was a 50-foot honeybee, and they were showing, I guess Honeybee has come out with a 60-foot now. And in fact, I think, unless it's changed, they are the only ones that have a 60-foot draper head. 60 feet. 6 stories long. That's just crazy to me. Why are we getting weird textures? Why is that texture changing? I'm going to stop the cedar for a second. We're still on wheat. It's almost like, well, I don't know why it changed textures. It's almost like it changed texture because it picked up from the last texture it was on. I'm going to go down to this end and plant this way again and see what texture we get. That's weird. don't know why things like that happen. I don't really care as long as it's doing what it's supposed to do. But it's just weird, right? Maybe because it's a mod? I don't know. I mean, this cedar is definitely modded. Yeah, now we're back to that texture. Now we're back to the normal planting texture. Yeah, I don't get it. Well, our field's going to be a little pretty looking, I guess, with different textures and arrangements. Why do I just not trust that at all? But it does show that we are properly planting. I know we're going to have to put down more fertilizer. I wonder if it'll pick up this different texture when we drag down this way. If I get into this here, we made a little headland action here. I'm going to lift up. We'll turn her off. I should have done 2 headlands, but we're just going to drag over to this side. I bet it'll pick up. Let's see what it does here. Yeah. Oh, that's too funny. Oh, no, now it's switched. That's honestly so weird. I'm trying to think what's different in that part of the field. I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. Yeah, I know. I'm not going to drag over poplar this time with a direct. I'll tell you, that's the one thing with these direct drills, direct seed things. They'll just wipe out whatever crops you drive over. So, want to be a little careful about that now. Been there, done that before. I do like this. This solitaire, this Limkin's a nice little cedar. This thing has made a big difference on this farm. It sure makes planting a lot faster. A lot easier. We're a little limited sometimes to horsepower. We've got 2 M8s, and sometimes that does give us, limits us a little bit, but I don't think it's really made too big of a difference. We can, it seems like it's never really stopped progress for us before, so I considered trading in one of our, either our M5. I'd probably trade the M5 in because there's nothing other tractors. Oh, man, look at it just dragging that. That is so weird. Is it doing it because it's planting on top of previous plant? And it's not taking any more seed. I kind of have a feeling it's because it's a modded planter. That would be my best educated guess. Because this thing is not supposed to be able to do... It's a cedar. I keep saying planter, but it's not supposed to be able to plant. It should only seed. But the mod did add the ability for it to plant and seed almost everything in the game, except for what? Potatoes, I think? I did take care of fertilizing our wheat field. Oh, I see. I wasn't even paying attention. I wasn't even paying attention to the fact that that whole strip got missed from our plow. So that's lovely. So now we're going to have that little bit right there that's going to say, oh, you've got to be kidding me. That's going to be annoying. Where's needs plowing? Yeah, all right. That's great. Oh well, it's not very significant. I think that's it for seeding our field 8 and 9 combo. We'll need to do some fertilizing on this field and probably no weeds though, which is kind of nice. Oh no, we'll have weeds in those we'll have weeds in those 3 little areas that didn't get plowed. Yay. Let's do a little repair. Let's do a little wash. Let's do a little quick spritzing up, a little wash time, get our limpkin looking pretty again. And I think we will be in pretty good shape. A little bit of fertilizing to do yet. Excellent. Now I should have, where is our boom? Boom. Let's grab some more fertilizer. And we'll quick get this field fertilized. We'll get it fertilized up. Sheep are a little cranky. They shouldn't be though. They should be pretty happy. They've got plenty of food. But yeah, I was thinking about trading in the M5 and maybe trading in our front loader. And I think those two combined, we might be able to score another M8 is kind of my thoughts. Because as we're growing bigger and bigger and getting more land, another tractor with a little more horsepower might be kind of nice. Let's get that on. Let's get you on. I am going to put 90 this time. It almost worked, right? Yeah, I'm just going to call that. Not going to fart around. Let's open up our map here. Oh, look at how pretty that green is. Oh, you know what I forgot to turn on? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Let's turn you off. Let's turn on our crop sensor. Because this is when I would think a crop sensor would matter. Because it's sensing the crop. And it should... I would think it would make a difference. Unless it only makes a difference with liquid fertilizer or only makes a difference with... excuse me, how you're applying it. I don't know. But we've got a crop sensors going. We've got our Iceria crop sensors cooking right now. And aren't those the ones that can do night or day? Or are these the ones that are night only? I forget which one's night and day. Either the 3.1 is one or the other. I can't remember. It seems like these would be daytime only. Does it say? I mean, does it actually inform? Will it inform us one way or the other? With a crop sensor, blah, blah, blah. To apply more precise fertilizer rates. Yeah, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying what you're selling there, Chief. Doesn't say if it's night or day. And if we look at, let's look at one of our little buddy here. Where's Iceria? Say yes to this. Iceria Pro Compact detects the real nitrogen demands of your crops. While driving with this sensor on over your field, you'll get more precise information of the nitrogen that's required. With this information, the fertilization will be more accurate and results in a higher yield. Can only be used in daytime. Okay, so we got that figured out. So these are daytime only. Kind of makes sense, I guess. I don't think I've ever used them at night, but... So supposedly, then having... Boy, I hope that wasn't so loud. I really felt like I just yelled into the microphone. But supposedly, we are getting a more precise rate of fertilization right now than we would be if the sensors weren't on. And supposedly, a higher yield rate. I don't want to be Debbie Downer here, but I would love to see the code, the game code, the actual behind-the-scenes game code that demonstrates that they're actually making a difference. Because I don't think you get better precision farming points with them. Yeah, I would love to see the truth behind. I feel like there should be a documentary, like a 48 hours or a 2020 documentary made of the scandal that is Farming Simulator 22 Iceria crop detection. Inside sources reveal that indeed there may not be any difference at all. In fact, our man on the inside, and then we have like a blurred face and maybe like or just a black silhouette with a fake voice. Actually, they probably speak German, so we could probably just use their regular voice, wouldn't know the difference. And they'd be like, you know, I worked in Giant's game development lab, and I can tell you right now that it's the big joke around all the meetings is how we have all these people fooled into thinking that they're putting this Iceria crop sensor on their tractors, and it's not doing any good. And it's costing them like $15,000 or $20,000 extra to do it, but these suckers are still doing it. I mean, it's in-game money, so it's not like they're really ripping anybody off, but I love the smell of fresh nitrogen in the morning. Actually, it's not really morning, is it? All right, bada boom, bada bing. And if you know who that is, you're as old as I am. Let's see here. So let's just take a quick peek ski. Nitrogen levels. Oh, tip stinking top. Oh, that is a thing of beauty. Needs rolling. Oh, shoot, forgot to roll. All right, we're not going to do that this time around, but we are going to roll. I want to get max yield out of that bad boy. Even if it is 1 or 2%. I don't think we gain precision farming points from rolling, though. At least I don't think so. But we are going to get a little extra yield, maybe. And here you go, 10 man. I'm going to lower the equipment. I'm going to be kind. And then run into it. Oh, that's just the kind of night this is going to be. All right, let's go ahead and do some repairs, and I'm going to get out of here. And you all, if you've stuck with me this long, I really do appreciate it. Like I said, it's just going to be kind of a casual Sunday morning here on Kubota Farm. But hey, we got some stuff done, had some fun talking, and I really do appreciate you all watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. It would help a lot, and I do appreciate it. Subscribe if you feel like it. Join the family. And leave comments. I respond to most comments. I read all the comments regardless and stuff, and I do enjoy hearing from y'all as well. And we'll see you back here on Kubota Farm Monday. Take care, everyone. Have a great and safe rest of your weekend. Bye for now.